तेरी मेहरबानी का है भोज इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल नहीं हूँ। तेरी मेहरबानी का है भोज इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल नहीं हूँ। तो गया मगर जानता तेरे दर पे आने के काबिल नहीं या तो गया हूँ मगर जानता तेरे दर पे आने के काबिल नहीं हूँ। ज़माने की चाहत में खुद को भुलाया, तेरा नाम हरगिज़ ज़ुबां पे ज़माने की चाहत में खुद को भुलाया, तेरा नाम हरगिज़ ज़ुबां पे आया। वो ज़माने की चाहत में तुझको भुलाया, तेरा नाम हरगिज़ ज़ुबां पे आया। ज़माने की चाहत में तुझको भुलाया, तेरा नाम हरगिज़ ज़ुबां पे गुनाहगार हूँ मैं, तुम्हें मुँह दिखाने के काबिल नहीं हूँ। हकार हूँ मैं, गुनाहगार हूँ मैं, तुम्हें मुँह दिखाने के काबिल नहीं। ओ तेरी मेहरबानी का है भोज इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल नहीं। मुझे जिंदगानी मगर तेरी महिमा मैंने न जानी। तुम्हीं अता की मुझे जिंदगानी मगर तेरी महिमा मैंने न जानी। मान ही दाता है तू जहाँ का मगर झोली आगे फैलाऊं मैं कैसे माना की जाता है तू खुदा का मगर झोली आगे फैलाऊं मैं कैसे हो लिया वो भी कुछ कम नहीं है उसी को निभाने के काबिल नहीं लिया भी कुछ कम नहीं है उसी को निभाने के काबिल नहीं है मुझे इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल मेहरबानी का है मुझे इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल नहीं तमन्ना यही है कि सिर को झुका दूं तेरा दीद एक बार दिल में पालूं तमन्ना यही है कि सिर को झुका दूं तेरा दीद एक बार दिल में मैं पालूं सिवा दिल के टुकड़ों के ऐ मेरे दाता कुछ भी चढ़ाने के काबिल नहीं सिवा दिल के टुकड़ों के ऐ मेरा दाता कुछ भी चढ़ाने के काबिल नहीं हो मेहरबानी का है मुझे इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल नहीं मेहरबानी का है मुझे इतना कि मैं तो उठाने के काबिल नहीं बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय गीता ध्यान Let's all meditate on Bhagwan Shri Krishna is about to embark on this divine song of the Lord, which is called Gita. which is the very essence of the Vedas and Upanishads. Meditate on Shri Krishna. Ajnanatimirandhasya Janashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanasye Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhe Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Mashtadashadhyayini Mambatva manusandadhami Bhagavat Gite Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pularvindayat Patnetra Yena Tvaya Bharatam Kailapurnah Vyadranito Jnanamaya Pradipah Prapanna Parijataya Tota Vektekapan Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha Sarvoparishado Gao Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandharani Lotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairana Nadi Kaivartakaha Keshava Parasharya Vacha Sarojam Amalam Gitartha Gandhotkatam Nanakhyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shat Padairaharaha Tepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharat Pankajam Kalimalap Pradhansina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghulam Dhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendarutta Samutamarudha Stuvanti Divyaistarai Vedai Sangapanopanishaday Gayantiyam Samava Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुषुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, बोले श्री राधा रानी की जय, गीता महारानी की जय। पूजनीय आदरणीय पंडित जी, विप्र मंडली, प्रिय सज्जनों, प्रिय भक्त जन समुदाय, महानुभाव, worshipable पंडित जी, worshipable Brahmins, devotees of our Supreme Lord, the Divine Souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and every one, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. Tonight again we continue with Gita Yagna, Shama Sham Dham in New York City, commemorating the Gita Jayanti, the birthday celebration of Gita Mata, Gita Mother Gita, the day that Gita originated from the mouth of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. In the third night, Bhagavan Arjun, faced in the battlefield, overcome with faint-heartedness, threw down the bow and arrow, sat down on the seat of the chariot and said, I'm not going to fight. Why? He said, this is a very bad action. My relatives, my teachers, my elders, gurus are going to die. Women will become corrupted. Children will become bastards. Lots of wrong things are going to happen as a result of this action. For this I will go to hell. I'm scared, I don't want to go to hell. So I'm not going to fight. Even then, he begged Shri Krishna, please guide me as to what I should do. For I'm unable to decide on the right course of action due to the extreme bewilderment of my mind. I seek your guidance as a fully surrendered disciple. Whether you surrendered or not, but he's saying, I am your fully surrendered disciple. So, he's asking. Sri Krishna now gives instruction. Ata chetamimam dharmam sangramam na karishyasi tatah swadharmam kirtancha hitva papamavapsyasi. Chapter 2, verse 33, Gita. Arjun, if you do not fight this war, it's a bad action for which you will have to go to hell. Arjun was confused. Arjun says, my Lord, if I do something wrong, by all means, send me to hell. But when I'm not doing anything, I'm not fighting the war, I'm not doing anything, I'm not going to do anything. Why are you sending me to hell? Shri Krishna says, Arjun, not fighting the war is also an action because, a bad action, because you're Kshatriya. You're Kshatriya. It's your dharma, your duty to fight the war. And for refusing to perform your duty, that is a papa, sin. When we do not perform our duty, what we are supposed to do, there are so many duties. There are 80,000 mantras in Vedas alone that talks about Varnashram Dharma, duty. Two things, Varna, Ashram. Varna, there are 4 Varnas. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The Brahmins, those who are the teachers, you can say in simple language, very brief. Kshatriya, those who rule and govern. Vaishya, those who trade, who do business, etc. And Shudra, those who do manual labor. 4 categories of work. So Varnas, 4 Varna, and Ashram, 4 Ashram also. Ashram means stages of life. There are 4. Brahmacharya, Grihasti, Vanaprasthi, Sannyasi. Sannyasi. Brahmacharya, celibacy, not student. One is a student at that time. But the correct meaning is celibacy. Grihastashram, getting married, having children, etc. Vanaprasthi, leaving everything and going to the forest and dwell in the forest. Sannyas, complete detachment. So every Varna has these 4. What a Brahman Brahmachari is supposed to do, what a Brahman Grihasti is supposed to do, what a Brahman Vanaprasthi is supposed to do, what a Brahman Sannyasi is supposed to do, etc. So 80,000 mantras. Nobody can follow. No one can do dharma in Kali Yuga. Impossible. Dharma is impossible. Even then, if you do not follow and do what you are supposed to, Kali Yuga Jogana Jagya Jnana, can't do. Kalbasundji said to Guruji in the Kali Yuga Mahima of the Ramayana, in the age of Kali Yuga, these things you can't do. The rules and regulations. Dharma sampadhyate sharbhi radharmastu viparyayah. 11 Canto, 21st chapter, 15 verse Bhagavad Mahapuran. The Bhagavad is saying that there are 6 conditions to fulfill in performing dharma, and all impossible in Kali. Not going to go in detail tonight. That alone is a few kathas. But if you don't do your dharma, you're committing pap, sin. There's a way to get around that, but for now, Shri Krishna is saying, this is your dharma, your kshatri. Everything there's a way. Your kshatri. So if you do not perform your dharma, you don't fight the wars of our action, for which you will go to hell. Arjuna says, okay. If I don't fight the wars of our action, what if I fight the war? What is the result of fighting the war? Ayudha karunga. Hato va prapsase swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim. Tasmadutishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritanishchaya. Chapter 2 verse 37, Gita. Arjuna, if you fight this war, 2 things will happen. Either you're going to die in the war, hatova, prapsis, or jitvava, you're going to become victorious, you're going to win. If you die while fighting this war, it is a law, a divine law. If someone is fighting a righteous war and they die, they go to heaven, Swarg. Hato va prapsase swargam. Or jitva va bhokshase mahim, you become a mahim, a king. If you win, you become king of the world. Dono haath mein laddu. Either way you win, you emerge a winner. So fight the war. No way you are going to lose. Either way you are a winner. So you should fight. Arjun said later on, my Lord, okay, if I die, I go to heaven. And if I win, I become king of the world, of the earth, Bharat. Tell me something, will I find happiness in heaven? Is there happiness in heaven? So Shri Krishna answered this question a little bit later on in Gita. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti evam tari dharmanupapanna gatagatam kama kama labhante. Chapter 9 verse 21 Gita. When you perform dharma, as I said, impossible in Kali Yuga, there are 6 conditions. But let's suppose if someone can fulfill the 6th condition, we acquire something called punya. By doing dharma, you acquire something called punya, spiritual merits. According to that, you will go to heaven, Swarga. According to how much punya you have acquired, will determine which heaven you go to and how long you will stay there for. Again, I'm not going to detail here. If we have time later on, I'll go in detail. But something happens when you go there in heaven. As you start enjoying the vast pleasures of heaven, which is more in this material world, the pleasures of heaven are those of this material world multiplied hundreds and hundreds of times. But as you start enjoying it, what happens? Kshine punya. That punya, which is so difficult, almost impossible in Kali Yuga, starts destroying. Kshine punya. And one day it's going to become zero. And when your punyas become zero, what will happen? Martyalokam vishanti. You'll be kicked out of heaven. Bhagwan Shri Ram warns us in the Ramayana, in Uttarakand of the Ramayana, Ram Gita. Ehi tan kar phal vishaya na bhai, swargahu swalpa ant dukhdai. Bhagwan Shri Ram has said to the residents of Ayodhya, my subjects, those who love me, this human body was not given to you to enjoy the senses, to have a good time. Devatas are praying for it. Nor was it given to go to heaven. When Devatas are praying for it, then definitely it's not given to go to heaven. Why? Swargahu swalp. Because there is no true happiness in heaven. Swalp means non-existent. As I told you, it is only the happiness of this material world multiplied hundreds and hundreds of times. And since there is no happiness here, zero, no matter how much you multiply by zero, you will get zero. 100 multiplied by zero, zero. 1,000 multiplied by zero, zero. Million multiplied by zero, still zero. And the worst part, Bhagwan Shri Ram says, Anta dukkhadai. It will end in suffering. After you go to heaven, you are going to suffer. The Vedas tell us, Heenataram va vishanti. Mundak Upanishad, 1st Mundak, 2nd Kand, 10th mantra. Because karma has become zero, remember your punya is destroyed while enjoying. So karma has become zero. You have nothing to come back. You have to start all over again. You'll be thrown into lower forms of life. Dog, cat, donkey, worm, grass, tree. Heenataram. Heena yoni me. This is what Bhagwan Shri Ram means in the Ramayana when he says it ends in suffering. So no Arjun, there is no happiness. So Arjun said, so I shouldn't want to go to heaven. Then why should I fight the war? And I don't need to ask you about the happiness of this material world. As I have experienced them during the time that I was able to rule, and I know for a fact that there's not even the tiniest drop of happiness in the material world. Why should I go? Bhagavan says, look Arjun, people claim to know the Vedas and they quote the Vedas. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadan cha vipashchita vedavadartah partha nanyadasti vadinah. Chapter 2 verse 42. People claim to follow Ved. I don't follow Ramayana, I don't follow Bhagavad, I don't follow Gita, I am Ved. Vedic Dharma. There are certain people who say they claim they only follow Ved. And they know what's in Vedas. Bhagavan says they are great fools. They speak flowery words. Pushpitam vacham, flowery words. It sounds very sweet and very nice. And they claim that there is nothing higher than heaven, but they are fools. That's the ultimate aim. These are fools because they do not understand the proper import of the Vedas. The same way is telling us to go to heaven, and the same way is saying those who want to go to heaven are the greatest fools. Ishta purtam mandamana varishtham nanya cheyo vedayante pramudhaha. First Mundak, second content mantra, Mundak Upanishad. Pramudha, the greatest fools, those who want to go to heaven and strive to go and think heaven is a great place. So they are great fools. Kamat man swarga para janma karma phala pradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishva gatim prati. Second chapter, 43rd verse. Because they are filled with desires. They want to enjoy the senses, these people. So they cannot find the true meaning of the Vedas. Their mind is filled. Whatever they read, whatever they hear, for them is telling them how to enjoy. How to enjoy the senses. Their mind is filled of pleasures. Kamatmana. So for them, the goal is heaven, Swarga Para. There's nothing higher. Para, Swarga Para. They only are concerned in performing exuberant ceremonies. Why? Because they want to get higher birth in the next life. To born in a very high family. So they will enjoy. People will worship them. And attainment of material pleasures. That's why they perform all these exuberant ceremonies, yagna, etc. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya parita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhav na vidhiyate. So being attached to, they only want to acquire pleasures and power. This is their attachment, to get power, position, status, to control others, to have power over others. Their mind becomes bewildered, corrupted in that. They get corrupted in that desire for pleasures and power. And fixed in that, their intellect becomes fixed in that determination. Their minds cannot become fixed on God and meditation. They cannot do bhakti. They perform yajna, etc. But with the hope that they will enjoy more of the worldly pleasures. There is no feeling, nothing in bhakti, nothing spiritual. Their mind has become confused and bewildered in that sensual desires, in that desire for pleasures, desires for the world. And so, कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतु भूर्माते संगोस्त कर्मणि. Chapter 2 verse 47 Gita. Bhagavan says, a very important verse in Gita. Bhagavan says, Arjun, सबको कर्म करने का अधिकार देते हैं. I give everyone the right to perform action. In other words, Bhagavan gives us free will. Do whatever you want. Do good, do bad, do mixture, anything. Free will. But I do not give you the right to determine the fruit. I give you the right to decide whatever you want to do. And I've given my law books. Gita, Ved, Bhagavad, Puran, Ramayana. These are Bhagwan's law books. In these books, Bhagwan have stated that if you do these kinds of action, you're going to get this kind of fruit. You do that kind of action, you're going to get that kind of fruit. Now you determine what you want to do. And according to the action you perform, Bhagwan says, I, Bhagwan, will give the fruit accordingly. You do good actions, you're going to get good fruits. You do bad actions, you're going to get bad fruits. You do not give dan, charity. One, you will go to hell because you didn't fulfill a debt you owe to Bhagwan. And two, next life, if you get human birth, you'll be born very poor. The punishment for not giving dan, charity. That's one example. Many such examples. So we find out the laws, what you are supposed to do and not supposed to do. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Isliye, therefore, Arjun, perform all actions, not looking for fruits. I am doing this because I will get heaven. I am doing this, I will get high birth in the next life. I am doing this because I will win the lotto. I am doing this because I will get children. No, in a detached manner. Apna karm karo. Phal mat socho. Do your actions, perform actions in a detached manner. Renouncing all desires. Sab kamanao ko chhod do. Renouncing all desires. Do not be bothered by the success or failure of any action you perform. This is already determined. Aapke haath mein nahi hai. Whatever is supposed to happen, we can't change. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kitam karma shubha shubham Mahabharat, where the Gita comes from. Mahabharat says, we will have to bear the fruits of our good action as well as bad action. Have to. No one can change what we are supposed to hope happen. In the Ramayana, it's beautiful chaupai in the Ramayana. So people will say, what you do in Ramayana, we do in Gita. This one chaupai. As doha, sorry. That great sage Naraji is saying to Himalaya, the father of Parvati, Kaha Muni se himavant suno, Himalaya, listen. Jo vidhi likha lilad, whatever Brahma, the one who writes our destiny, the writer of the destiny is Brahma, the one with four heads, the creator. Vidhi means Brahma. Where does he write the destiny? In the hand? In the foot? No. He writes the destiny in our forehead. जो विधि लिखा लीलार, ललाट, lilar, bhal. That's why he writes our destiny. Deva Danuja Naranag Muni Ko Nameta Nihar. And whatever is written in the destiny, as I told you, destiny comes from our action. Purva Janma Kitam Karma Tad Devamiti Katyate Hitopadesh. The scripture says, the actions we have performed out of the free will, as Shri Krishna is saying, free will given to us by God in this lifetime becomes our destiny in the next lifetime. According to that, Brahma writes on our forehead, Deva Danuja, no Devta, no Rakshas, no human being, no man, Nag, Rishi, Muni, no one can change that. So don't worry about the success or failure. That's already written. Worrying about is not going to change it. Beating your head and crying day and night, oh God, is not going to change it. No one, not even Bhagavan, can change it. We perform the action and we have to bear the fruit, good or bad. Jump high, jump low, do whatever you want. So it's useless worrying about that. So once performing our actions in a detached manner, free from the worry of the success or failure, the person becomes even-minded. Such a person is said to be, this is called yoga. This is what is called yoga. This is the correct meaning of yoga. The mind has become even temperament. That is the real meaning of yoga. Most time we think yoga means yoga, physical exercise. Yoga is a big thing nowadays. Everybody is doing yoga. It's good. We should exercise, keep the body healthy. If you don't want to go to the gym, and you don't want to get up and go and take a walk, run a little bit, whole day lying on the couch, you're going to get sick. You might be skinny, but you will still get sick. I've seen skinny people, very skinny, get heart attack, quadruple bypass, because the sedimentary life they lead and eating the wrong thing and not exercising. So some kind of exercise we are supposed to do every day, at least half an hour, at least. So all of that, then do some yoga exercise. It's good, keep the body healthy. Eat properly, exercise, etc. is important. We are told in the Gita, nothing should be done too much nor too little. Eat the right food, sleep the right amount, etc. Don't sleep too much nor too little. Exercise. So what we call yoga is one limb of yoga. Yoga has 8 limbs. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. That is yoga. The correct meaning of yoga means to join. Union of our mind with Bhagavan is yoga. That's the correct meaning of yoga. That which takes us close to God. Exercise doesn't do that. It's one limb. So first you have Yam, Niyam, and then Asan. Asan, so the correct name, what is called yoga, is Yogasana. But before that, Yam, Niyam, complete control over the mind. Exercise doesn't control the mind. Anyhow, so that is the real meaning of yoga. Therefore, Arjun, we have to Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantyanāmayam. जो बुद्धिमान है, जो बुद्धिमान है तो वो भक्ति करेंगे, सेवा करेंगे. Therefore, the person who is really wise, the wise person, listen to what a wise person does. He engages himself in devotional practice, in devotional seva, devotional practice. Being even-minded, renouncing the fruits of the actions. In other words, does not look forward that I am doing this to go to heaven. I am doing this to get children. I am doing this to get a good job. No. In a detached manner, performing the duty, actions in the world, renouncing the fruit. That person becomes free from the shackles of birth and death. This avagaman, mukt ho jate, becomes free from the shackles of birth and death and attains the supreme blissful state. This is why we have to control the mind. We have to practice bhakti. But that can only happen when we become even-minded. We give up the desire for the fruits. We stop desiring in the world. We're going to do a bhajan. Beautiful bhajan. Page 24. Chant the name of the Lord. Let's all chant the name of Bhagwan. Do bhakti. Devotional service. That's how we're going to control the mind. Not by doing physical drill. By doing dhyan, meditation. And chanting the name of the Lord. Meditating on Bhagwan, chanting the name. Through righteous knowledge, true knowledge of who am I am the soul, the Atma, the soul is indestructible. I am not the body. We have given that, we have spoken about that yesterday. Having that knowledge that every relation of the soul is only with Shri Krishna. And that I will find happiness only in Shri Krishna. So meditating on Shri Krishna and chanting the divine name of the Lord. You may get tired. If you get tired, then what you do? Shwas, swas. With every breath, take the name. When you breathe in, Ra. You breathe out, De. Even when you become tired doing that, then mentally do jap. In your mind, chant the name. Krishna, Krishna, Radhe, Radhe, Govind, Govind. In your mind. While you're doing chanting, don't forget the most important thing, meditating. Dhyan. Without meditation, without dhyan, all the chanting, all the puja, all the spiritual work is like multiplying by zero. We only become successful in any spiritual action when we do dhyan, meditation. So we'll sing a few lines of this beautiful bhajan written by Kripaluji Mahaprabhu. Gao sab hili mili radhe, 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 radhe. Gao sab hili mili radhe, radhe, radhe. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Kahu naam gaate jab Radhe, kahu naam gaate jab Radhe. Shwas, shwas jab Radhe, 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 Radhe. Shwas, shwas jab Radhe. थकी जाऊं तब हो तो राधे, थकी जाऊं तब हो राधे। ओ सुमीरी अनित छवि राधे, 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 राधे। सुमीरी तेरी सामने राधे 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 राधे
तेरी सामने राधे 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 राधे
तू जो ध्यान करहु नित राधे
जो ध्यान करहु नित राधे
ओ मिलई बेटी अब राधे 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 निज गुरु इष्ट भक्ति में राधे ओ रहा अनन्यमति राधे 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 ओ गाओ सब राधे 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 गाओ While doing bhakti, any kind of spiritual action, we should not have bad feeling, negative feeling for others, hatred. You are doing bhakti, worshipping God and hating someone. How are we going to have a love? Bhagwan is sitting in the heart, he is looking. The one you are hating, thinking badly about, he is sitting in that one's heart also. You will never do bhakti. So be neutral. Get rid of all the feeling of hatred. Rahatu bhavana katahu radhe. Udasi radhe. Radhe, radhe, radhe. See God in everyone. Bhagwan is sitting in the heart of all. Siya Rama mai sab jag jani. Karu pranam jodi jug pani. This will help us to practice the ideal, not to hate anyone, not to have negative and bad feelings. Sab mahara kripalu tav radhe. Sab oh hey. So, और आगे सुन लो. श्रुति विप्रतिपन्नाते श्रुति विप्रतिपन्नाते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिस् तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि. Chapter 2 verse 53. अब ज्ञान आ गया. When the mind becomes steady, the mind has become steady now and no longer confused by the flowery words of the Vedas. But how do we no longer get confused by the flowery word of the Vedas? We don't understand what is in Vedas. This one say do this, that one say do that. Everybody reads and gets their own meaning, put their own meaning. Bhagwan Krishna says to Uddhav in Bhagavad Mahapuran 11 Canto. Uddhav asks how in Uddhav Gita, how did so many paths come and so many belief? Shri Krishna said in the Vedas I spoke only one thing, bhakti. But people of different temperaments, reading divine words of mine, give a meaning accordingly. And so thousands of meanings are given. Thousands for every word of mine. And thousands of parts. So not understanding, we get confused as to what the Vedas and the scriptures are saying. This is why we have to go to someone. Who do we have to go to? The person called Guru. To acquire true knowledge, Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Tadvir pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshati jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Chapter 4, verse 34, Gita. If we are so fortunate to find Guru, not everyone is Guru. Bhagavan describes, one verse in Gita, he describes Guru. Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Two things that qualifies one to be Guru. Nothing about which family you have come from, what lineage, how sweet you can sing, how handsome you are, etc. How educated you are. No. Two conditions have been given. This is given in Veda also, in Bhagavad also, all the scriptures. Shri Krishna chapter 4 verse 34. Jnaninaha means he has knowledge of all, the complete knowledge of all the Vedas, all the scriptures. Plus, he is able to remove our doubts. He is able to give that knowledge to us. To our knowledge is one, to give it is a different thing. That everyone can teach. To make somebody understand is a different thing. So, Jnanina. But more important, Tattvadarshinaha. He has seen Krishna. He has attained a divine vision, divine bliss, divine love of God. If we are so lucky to meet such a person, the true Guru, what to do? So Tadvir pranipatena. Completely surrender. Number one, completely surrender to him. Surrender the mind, intellect. Number two, pariprashnena, ask question, acquire knowledge from him, true knowledge, by asking questions, listening to the philosophy, his instruction, following instruction, etc. And number three, sevaya, do his seva, serve him. He will give you the true knowledge. He will take away all the confusion. Guru is what's going to tell us what is in Ved. Acharyavan Purusho hi Ved. The Vedas make it very clear. Do not read me by yourself. Do not try to. Go to the Acharya, the saint, one who has attained God. Let him tell you what is in Ved. So Guru removes the confusion. That's why it says, Tulsidas Ji Maharaj says, Guru binu hoi ki gyan. Without Guru, we cannot acquire knowledge, true knowledge. We can read book and get book knowledge. That's not knowledge. We get more confused. And plus we get abhiman, jnana abhiman. There's something called jnana abhiman, the pride of I know. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. That's the end of you. So, when we take shelter in the true Guru and the confusion is gone, Shri Krishna is saying, you're no longer confused by the flowery words that, you should do this to go to heaven. This is not the aim. The aim is to go to God, to Shri Krishna. Then, that person, the mind has become steady now, fixed. Now he's able to do dhyan, meditation. If your mind is jumping here, there, and everywhere, I wonder what to go and eat now. I wonder what kind of clothes to go and buy. Which sari will look nice, which dress. What kind of shoes, what kind of bag. Oh, different design. People buy bag, you can buy a house. A muruka, the kind of bag they buy. When I hear this, I say, hey, Ram Ram, Bhagwan is a bag. And I look at this bag. Eh? What this bag can hold, that bag can also hold. Eh? And this didn't cost me anything. Somebody gave it to me. Eh? Why won't your bag cost $100,000? There are bags like that. And they're proud walking. Somebody caught their hand and go with it. Oh, so crack, this bag is giving me happiness. A bag. So when the mind is attached to these things, you can't think about Bhagwan. There's a saying, simple living, high thinking. If you want to be a devotee, you want to be a spiritual person, this law is most important. Simple living, high thinking. A true devotee, a true sadhak lives very simple. I have to cover my body. He looks for the simplest of clothes. One sari costs $1,000, one costs $50. $50 sari is good enough. $950, I do seva. Guru seva, I use it to Bhagwan, to uplift myself spiritually. In every way, he's simple living. Simple in eating, simple in sleep, in everything. And high thinking, so the mind gets focused on God all the time. That's the high thinking. But when the living is high and the thinking is simple, then you're dead. Because your mind is now focused on this moruka, on the house, on the kind of clothes, on the kind of food. You have no time to think about Bhagwan. No time. So now you can meditate. Then you attain the true yoga, that union with Bhagwan. Because now the mind is fixed. Then such a person can do dhyan, meditation. Sadhana. Only. So we have to control the mind. That's why it's so important to control. And all these things help. When you live simply. My Guru always told us, don't try to be luxurious. Try to be very simple. In what you eat, what you drink, what you wear. Everything. The motor car you have to use, the car can start and take you there, is fine. Why do you have to think you have to get this kind of motor car and you're a sadhak? I have the money. I'm going to buy the kind of car I want. Jai Ho. You never get bhakti. You never get bhakti. So, Bhagwan says, Sita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava stitadhihi kim prabhashet kimasita brajeta kim. Now Arjuna is questioning, sorry. After Shri Krishna said all of this, the aim is to attain union with Bhagwan, with Shri Krishna. Up to here, Shri Krishna took Arjuna. How? Because my mind is not steady, he said. I can't make the right decisions, so Shri Krishna has given, this is how to make the mind steady. So now Arjuna is asking, hey Krishna, what is the characteristic then of a person who has attained that stage of God realization, that union with God? In Lakshan kya hai? What are the symptoms, the characteristic of such a person? How will you know that I've attained that stage, in other words? How does such a person speak? Wo kaise bolte hai? How does he sit? How does he walk, etc.? Please tell me. Aise bataiye, ye bataiye. So Bhagwan says, okay, now listen. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamano atmanyevatmanah tushta sita pragyasta dochyate. Gita chapter 2 verse 55. Prajahati yada kaman. Give up all desires. सब कामनाओं को छोड़ दो. If you want to do bhakti, you want to reach that high state of complete peace and happiness, complete bliss, then we have to give up all desires. Prajahat yada kaman. ये सब कामनाओं को छोड़ दो. और when you have given up all desires, then the mind finds happiness in the self. Atman nivatmanah tushta. Now you find happiness in the self. That person has reached the stage of divine consciousness. To give up all desires is not easy. We have practiced to desire the world from beginningless time. The decision has come in our mind, I will find happiness in the world. A new house, a new car, this kind of bed, this kind of food, handsome boy, beautiful girl, so much money. This decision has become very, very firm. If I don't find it today, I'll find it tomorrow, but I will find in the world happiness. To change that decision, only when that decision is changed, then we can stop desire in the world. Only when the decision comes in the mind that the happiness I'm looking for, I'll find only in Shri Krishna. Because Shri Krishna is happiness. Until that decision doesn't sit in the mind, in the intellect, no one can give up desires of the world. Impossible. That knowledge has to sit in the mind, in the intellect, has to become firm. So knowledge that comes through true knowledge. And as I mentioned, this is where Guru comes. So we have to go to the true Guru. Spend time in his company, the association. This is the true satsang. Binu satsang viveka na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabha soi. Without the association of a true Guru, Sat Sang, Sat means saint. True Guru, Sang means association. We will not acquire true knowledge. And we'll only get that association of a true saint when Bhagwan will shower his grace upon us. Arjun, yatato yapi kaunteya purushasya vipashita indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. This mind, the nature of the mind is extremely turbulent and strong. Later on, Arjuna himself says, Chanchalami mana Krishna pramati balavadram tasyam nikaham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. Chapter 6 verse 34. Shri Krishna is telling him till that time, control the mind, make the mind stable. Arjuna says, how to do it? This mind is so strong, turbulent and unyielding. It's as difficult to control the mind as it is to control the wind. Here Shri Krishna from before in chapter 2 is saying. Chapter 2 verse 60. The mind by nature is extremely strong and turbulent. That even a wise person who is practicing to control the mind, self-control, the senses keep pulling the mind away. The attraction of the senses to the material world. It keeps forcibly pulling the mind. That's why when you're practicing sadhana, it's important to keep away from certain things. Because the attraction is so strong, the more contact you have with certain things, it only increases the desire, the yearning for that thing, that object, that person. We have to practice detachment through knowledge and through distance and all. Social distancing has a sense in it. It has a sense in it. Everything we can take lesson from. Everything is a guru. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita mat paraha vashehi yas yendriyani tasya pragya pratisthita. So now, how are we going to control the mind? Now Sri Krishna is telling very briefly, these things, like each with this verse we can take and do a whole week lecture. But I'm doing Gita and everybody will say you're supposed to do so many Gita, only 700 verses. Not much, 700 shloks. That's all. One person can sit down and do 700 verses in a few hours. But then what do you know? We'll learn nothing. But the meaning is very, very deep. How to control the mind, how to keep the mind from the senses from forcibly pulling the mind to the world again and again. We have to do sadhana. Having acquired knowledge from the true Guru about the reality of the world. Can I find happiness in the world? Can I find happiness in heaven? Where I can find true happiness? Who am I? Am I the body or am I something else? What is the reality of birth and death? Who is God? Why should I want to know God? Etc. True Guru, one acquires this true knowledge that becomes firm in the mind. Then what do? एकांत में बैठ के ध्यान करना. We have to go and sit in solitude and do dhyan meditation. Now the mind, to control the mind, we have the knowledge. Guru has given you knowledge. Now you have to put into practice. Shri Krishna says, when Arjun said later on in Gita, that how to control this mind is strong, turbulent, unyielding, it's difficult to control the mind as this to control the wind. Shri Krishna agreed and said, yes, I agree with you. It's very difficult, but not impossible. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate asanchaya mahabaho manu durnigraham chalam. Chapter 6 verse 35. Shri Krishna says, I agree with you, Arjun, 100%. The mind is difficult to control, very difficult, not impossible. How to do it? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. This is the abhyas, constant practice. So we have to sit ekant, vivikta bhavi, vivikta sevi, lagu bhavi. A lamp in a windless place, flicker it not. The mind is very wayward. This is why we have to go in solitude. You have to be by yourself alone. When you're trying to do meditation, sadhana, you cannot do sadhana with lots of people and people walking and talking. Especially in the beginning. When you become perfection, when you reach very high stage, you can sit in the middle of Manhattan and do sadhana, dhyan meditation. But in the beginning, no. So ekantmi, sit down and do meditation. Devoting one's heart and soul to Shri Krishna. To me, Arjun, Shri Krishna says. That person, his senses he's become master of the mind and senses. He's become steady. Now, that person is able to attain me, the highest stage. Dhyayato vishayan punsa sangaste shupajayate sangat sanjate kama kamat krodho bhijayate. Chapter 2 verse 62 Gita. When we think again and again, I can find happiness in this person or object, we get attached. That's how we get attached to somebody in the world. I love you. I just saw this boy and I fell in love. I just saw this girl and I fell in love. Nobody just falls in love. Decision came in the mind. This girl is going to make me happy. This boy, thinking again and again. Subtly, you don't even know. And now, I can't live without this boy. Food, you don't want food, you can't sleep. Same, that's how we become alcoholic. That's how you become a chain smoker, etc. We say addiction. Fall in love is also addiction. You get addicted to the person. So it's thinking again and again. We get attached. And this attachment is the source of all desires, all suffering. When desire comes, a desire can either be fulfilled or it can remain unfulfilled. When it is fulfilled, it gives rise to greed, which is ever increasing and insatiable. Na jatu kama kamapabhoge na shamyati havishya krishna vadmeva bhuya eva vivardhate. Bhagavad Mahapuran. Udho Gita. No, Bhagavad Mahapuran. 9th canto, 19th chapter, 14th verse. The Bhagavad says, trying to satisfy a desire is like pouring fuel in fire. It only increases, it gets more and more. The more you get, the more you want. You think if I get an ice cream, I'll be fine. You eat a whole tub of ice cream. I don't want any more ice cream, I'm good. And tomorrow, I want more ice cream. The more you eat, the more you use it, the more you want. A person who never drink coffee doesn't think I have to get coffee. If I don't get a cup of coffee in the morning, I can't do anything. And one person drinks 1 cup of coffee in a day, is fine. Some have to drink 10 cups. The more you use it, the more. So when you fulfill, it gives rise to greed, lobh. And when you cannot fulfill a desire, when you can't get what you want, krodha bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibhrama, smriti banshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Chapter 2, verse 63, Gita. Anga comes, krodh. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. When we lose our memory, we lose the power to discriminate, and everything is destroyed. Everything is destroyed. That's how dangerous desire is. That's why all this Gita is telling first, give up desires. Give up desires. Nasti buddhi rayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayatah shanti rashantasya kutah sukham. He who has not controlled the mind has not become stable, who has not controlled the senses, who is grieving for this and grieving for that, constantly grieving for all kinds of things. How can that person even think about God? You don't have time because your mind is constantly, I wish I could get to eat this. I wish I could get that. I wish I can see this. I wish I can see that. The mind is constantly in turmoil. Such a person cannot do bhakti, cannot think about God. Such a person cannot find peace. And when you cannot find peace, how can you find happiness? Ye sukh kaise milega? That's why we have to control. Now Shri Krishna has given the reason why controlling the mind, why giving up desire is so important. The question can be asked, why to give up desires, desire of the world? Somebody may say desire in Bhagwan is also a desire. We cannot totally give up desire. So we switch the area. Instead of desire in the world, we desire God. It is given. Vihaya kaman yasarvan puman sharati nispriha nirmamo nirahankara shashanti madhigacchati. Chapter 2 verse 71 Gita. See, all the answer has been given. He who has given up all desires, Shri Krishna is saying, has become free from attachment. How to do that is a different thing, but he's given the full, there's whole statement here. How are we going to do that? We'll hear later on. It's free from all attachment. As I told you, attachment is the source of all sorrows. Why do we get attached? Ignorance. Agyan. We have forgotten we are the soul, the Atma. We identify with the physical body. That's the source of all attachment. And attachment is the source of all desires, which is the source of all pain and suffering. He's given up all attachment. He's given up the ego, pride, ahankar, and all sensual gratification. Does not think this will make me happy, that will make me happy. Such a person attains peace, true shanti, true peace. That person alone attains happiness. Esha Brahmi Sthitah Partha Naina Prapya Vimuhyati Sthitvasyamantakalepi Brahma Nirvana Micchati. Chapter 2, verse 72. And having acquired such a state of peace, in that state, one experiences true bliss, the bliss of Bhagwan. You have reached that stage. One no longer is bewildered. All the confusion is gone. He's no longer looking for happiness in the world or anything in the world. Only Krishna. Established in that state, even at the moment of death, you're about to die. 1 second before you have reached the state that you have given up all ego, all attachment, all desires. 1 moment before dying, you will attain God realization. Even if it's 1 moment before you die. Shri Krishna has given this answer. There's a lot to be told. I'm trying to bring the gist of this whole, this is only chapter 2. I just finished the last and I didn't do all the verses. And this is just chapter 2. So just to conclude the katha, Uddhav Gita, 1 verse from Uddhav Gita will help us to understand a little more. Bhagwan Krishna says to Uddhav in Bhagavad Mahapuran, Vishayandhyataschittam vishayeshu visajjate Mamanusmarataschittam mayeva praviliyate. 11 Canto 14 chapter 27 verse Bhagavad Mahapuran. Shri Krishna says, just as Shri Krishna was saying to Arjun in Gita, Dhyato Vishayan Punsaha, chapter 2 verse 62, when we think again and again that this person or this thing will make me happy, we get attached. Same thing Shri Krishna is saying to Uddhav. Just as when we think again and again about any person or object in the world, that we will get happiness, we get attached to that person or object. In the same way, if someone thinks about Shri Krishna again and again, the knowledge has been given in the mind, it's sitting in the mind firm now, that only Shri Krishna will make me happy. Through Guru's grace, this knowledge has now become fixed in the mind. Only Shri Krishna will make me happy. That person starts thinking about Shri Krishna again and again. The result is, you will attain Shri Krishna, God realization. The method of practice, the way we practice is the same. The method of practice is the same. What it is? Thinking again and again. So thinking again and again in the world, we get attached in the world. And the result, we get the world, we get pain and suffering. We rotate in 8.4 million forms of life. The same practice. If the knowledge can sit in our mind and intellect, that only Shri Krishna can make me happy. Only Shri Krishna is happiness. Then we'll think again and again about Shri Krishna. And the result will be God realization. Same thing is saying Gita, same thing Bhagavad Mahapuran. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Shri Radha Rani ki, Gita Maharani ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.